Biden laptop story was reported unencumbered, like no guardrails, nothing. Do you think that that would have changed the outcome of the election?
The election was so close in Pennsylvania, in states that really mattered.
It was close in swing states, but honestly, I think that COVID had way more of an influence on the outcome of that election than anything else. People were so...
Help us all. These girls and their slow takes.
A really good question last episode about the election being rigged. I don't think that the votes were stolen. I think it was rigged in the sense that Hunter Biden's laptop, that story was squashed. In that sense, I do think it was rigged because American people deserve to know. But frankly, I would be the first to admit wrong. I'm sorry that I bought into the narrative.
Okay, somebody has to do something about this girl. You know, actually, this episode is about Anna Kasparian fully leaving TYT. TYT is done. TYT is over. You know, we looked at the numbers. I'll look at them again. TYT is finished. The thing is that she ran to a show with 4 to 5 other extra women, and now she wants to compete with these women, and she's not coming out on top. Progressives are destroying her for it, okay? And guess what? Like I said, you can do whatever you want. Shout out to her. Get your bag, sis. Do what you got to do. Nobody can tell you what to do or what not to do or who to be or who not to be. Shout out to her again. However, I will come back and say again that this is, for me, I just feel like the grass is not greener. Now, you have this here, Lily Ling or something. I don't know. I think her name is Lily something, Lily Lou. She's another thing. Like, this shit, my gosh. But it's so easy to call yourself a conservative nowadays. Let me tell you something. The MAGA, like, the whole MAGA movement has been taken over by skin suit people. Trump lately has been making some very weird statements on you know, online, not online, but out loud, like in press conferences, which almost shows some sort of backbone, but which, hey, you know, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Because what MAGA is supposed to be is unapologetically America first. Unapologetically. And I'm sorry, we've been making a lot of apologies, and MAGA has not been living up to what it should be. I'll just keep it there. But that's why everybody thinks, like, okay, big tent. They big tented to the point where people, now look what she's saying. So anyway, long introduction. Let's just go ahead and get into the clip and go from there, guys. But yeah, I don't know if this was a good move for Anna.
Believe the mainstream narrative that it was a Russian disinformation campaign.
I bought that fully.
I did too.
So you thought the laptop was
man,
I was all the way down the Russia.
You thought it wasn't his laptop?
I thought the Steele dossier was real. Go back to the beginning.
No, that I believe.
I thought the Steele dossier was real. I thought Trump was getting peed on by a 15-year-old prostitute. I was all the way down the rabbit hole.
I believed all of that.
I believed it.
But none other than the Justice Department of the United States of America used Hunter Biden's laptop in the court of law as evidence against him. None other than the Washington Post, not known for being a leftist bastion, admitted to the veracity of this laptop. And American people did not know that, and we were duped. I bought into it. We all bought, well, you probably, I bought into it.
I think.
Do you think that if the Hunter...
The problem is that Anna Kasparian bought into a lot of this stuff, right? So what happens here is what we need to be calling out is the fact that this is a journalist. You know, she didn't buy into it. What it is that she was paid to talk about it or paid to do whatever it is that she does. She's a Democratic, she was a Democratic fundraiser. So she didn't buy into anything, okay? So stop it. You knew it was a lie. Anybody who listened into the story about the Hunter Biden laptop, rather, not even if you knew it was a lie, just the fact of, like, how that was treated, all you needed was the information to know that this was a cover-up. There was a lot going on with that, you know, all of that. But then when you go further down the rabbit hole, you find out even more, that, you know, about what's going on and everything else like that. That said, you know, Anna was a journalist. I don't understand what happened to her.
Biden laptop story was reported unencumbered, like no guardrails, nothing. Do you think that that would have changed the outcome of the election?
The election was so close in Pennsylvania, in states that really mattered.
It was close in swing states, but honestly, I think that COVID had way more of an influence on the outcome of that election than anything else. People were so desperate for normal.
Yeah,
and they saw Biden as, let's just go back to normal.
Reasonable.
Yep.
He'd bring us all back together. He wasn't woke and crazy. But what's interesting about Biden, if we really look back as honestly a lifelong liberal, this guy is systemic racism. He is the 94 crime bill.
Yeah.
He was.
Did you hear what he said the other day?
Aggressively against gay.
God help us all. These girls and their slow takes. You know, it's like, you know, to say that even about, I said that for a little bit, you know, in 2020, I was like, well, that's one of the reasons I'm not going to vote for Biden is because of the 94 crime bill. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, that crime bill is pretty deep because when it comes to money laundering, I don't think that people should do life in jail for money laundering. Sorry, I don't. Because I feel like, you know, we have oligarchs who money launder all the time, especially with American lives too. They do it through the military industrial complex. So it's like, why should a regular person get life in prison for? I'm sorry, I don't care. Life in prison is a bit egregious for that. When other people just get rich and live their lives. That said, though, there were some terms in that 94 crime bill. I get it, man. I get it. You know what the problem is that a lot of people pretend to be like this, oh, I'm not racist, and Biden did do that, and I'm not saying whether he is or isn't because that's just a pointless argument to me, but then to make it seem like what they do is they'll say like, oh, listen to the things Trump says, oh, he's terrible with some of the stuff he says, but then it's like, Biden, you were saying some of the same stuff too, so that's what I think people just notice more of is the hypocrisy of like, y'all sound the same, bro. It's not even about like, bro, like we don't even need to call it racist because like I want criminals off the street too. I don't really care what they look like. Like I think stop and frisk should be brought back, but whatever. And I'm not the only black person who thinks that. Okay, the ones who think that they just simply just don't have a microphone to tell you that that's what they think. Now, anyway, but these takes are so 2020, bro. They really are like, bro. Oh. All right, like, and this is what I mean is like I don't think that this was necessarily the best step for Anna to do because while the takes are 2020, Jillian Michaels, she delivers the takes in a very chill and almost kind of fun way, if you will. So people are really, you know, they're prone to listen to her, I think, more than Anna. Anna does not look comfortable on that stage, but let's go ahead and listen to a little bit more. By the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every single eye that lands on these videos.
We're talking about colored people. This happened like last week. Did you see that?
now, so
No.
did he say
Colored people. Like 6 days ago. I kid you not.
He's also mentally gone though. Like,
He's
maybe
gone.
we give him a pass for that because he is shocked.
Like, all right, crap.
He's trying to launch a comeback right away.
my
I mean, that's something I think you were going to say earlier, but then said let's revisit that when we were talking about the Parkinson's thing. So can you confirm that? Can you
my gosh,
confirm
ladies!
how many times they
Ladies!
went to the White House?
Okay.
Then you mean the doctor visits at least 6 times. At least 6 times in the summer of 2024. But I was going to mention something else.
Okay.
I was going to mention people with medical expertise, these accredited doctors from like Harvard Medical School. My dad went to Harvard Medical School. I brought them to events with Biden. They were diagnosing him from, you know, we were seated in the front row, not just on one occasion, on several occasions, I would bring different doctors, and not even to diagnose Biden, just because they had a shit ton of money. Like I wanted their money for the event. They would say, this guy is a walking case of Parkinson's.
But also, I have no medical degree, and I could have told you that because he was shaking hands with the air. So I didn't need a medical degree. I mean, we all saw
It's
it.
not Parkinson's, hon. Calm down. The reason the doctors probably said, I can't even, where's Anna? All right, we'll skip ahead to Anna. By the way, the reason the doctors probably said that was really because Biden, his gait and the way he walks, it does give us like not necessarily a Parkinson's shuffle, but there's a foot drop that happens when he's walking that kind of gives you that feeling. It's not just also his mindset, the way he talks. There's a little bit more with gross mechanical skills that come with that kind of assessment, because I had the same assessment too. And we do know that Biden had aneurysms and stuff, so he's prone to like medical anomalies in his brain or whatever. But you know what, God bless him, because I do not, you know what I mean? I don't make any light of this kind of stuff because it could be any one of us. Let's see if Anna can, I don't know, maybe shine, but the little loud Chinese girl, she like I don't know, she's taking over the show. It's not even Jillian Michaels this time.
During the Democratic primary, and we were totally gaslit, but even worse than that, we were made to be really bad, evil people for asking these questions, but we're asking the right questions. We're talking about the President of the United States. It is a physically taxing job, and it was bad in 2020. Of course it got worse by the time we hit 2024, And I think the biggest issue I have is the gaslighting, is this effort to make you seem like you're crazy or you're a bad person for bringing this up. I mean, Jake Tapper shutting down.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Go ahead, yeah.
No, I mean, I was.
Yeah, okay, so the girls took over. I'm definitely not gonna, not doing it. So there we go, you know what I mean? I personally do not think that this is the show that Anna should be on. Furthermore, if you look at the end, you can see who's the person who's actually leading the show is Jillian Michaels. You know, PBD picked Jillian Michaels to sit in the middle while her head totally... It takes over the sign, so you don't even know what the sign says. And I'm not busting on her head. I'm just saying I still don't understand this production value of the background, whatever. But he picked her. It's not Anna, you know, you would think. Anna's sitting all the way back here. And as somebody will say, now for me, if I'm given this opportunity, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this opportunity and that I probably would last like 2 weeks on this show because I would be keeping it so real about so many things that, you know, they'd be like, nah, you got to go. This isn't what we signed up for. Shout out to them again for their amazing opportunity. But Anna is drowning. And this girl, they added her because she was not there on the first episode. Okay, they added her. All right. Or was she there? I don't think she was there. These girls, it's like they're drowning. Anna's drowning out. And why is she the only one wearing, wait a minute, I just noticed something. Everybody has black on, and she came in with her same outfit. I don't understand, because I know this outfit from TYT. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to keep up with this because I do think that this isn't what she wanted. Like I said, for most people, it would be like, oh, you know, whatever. Like, this is a great opportunity, but you have to understand that Anna's been doing this for a while, and she's been wanting to be the hit, the star. She's been wanting that, you know, that again, that Daily Wire type of like Candace Brett Cooper thing. And then, you know, you see Candace and Brett Cooper, they left the Daily Wire, and they're doing their own thing. And Anna, I don't think she really believes that she can, you know, carry a show on her own, because if she did, she would just leave and carry a show on her own. She would have just left TYT. She wouldn't have signed on to this. Again, I don't understand what's going, like, and even to say like, oh, well, she had this outfit on for TYT and had to rush over. Yeah, so what? You could change in the bathroom. So I don't know. And you could have still kept the nude shoes on with an all black dress. And Anna does have all black, but I've seen her that way on TYT. I know these are petty things to you guys, but there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on in the political world with political commentary too. Even myself, I'm looking to make some changes with my channel. And I do take myself serious. So I have to make changes with my channel and stuff too to keep up with the times. Because this whole thing may not be it, but we will see. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.